I would just like you to take a deep breath in through your nose, take it down to your pelvic area, let it swirl around, and breathe it up and out through your mouth. There's nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to do. Where you are is perfect. Another deep breath in, bringing it down, swirling it, exhaling out, letting go of the tensions, all the worries, cares of the day. Another inhalation. Exhale. And we call in the six-fold cocoon, sovereignty, of freedom, of safety, of truth, integrity. We call on the ancient ones, the wisdom keepers. We call on the ancestors who have our highest and best timeline in mind. We call in all of our causal teams, the beings of light that we work in with the highest integrity, knowing that we are so deeply cocooned in peace and love, surrounded by such beautiful wisdom of the ages. And we cocoon each one and those that we love and are connected to and love in their own individual cocoons. And the space is set. And we can begin sharing where we are from and the quality, how many people we would like to put into circle. And we can start with would anybody like to volunteer to start sharing? Sharon?
Looks like Evie and Marielle will want to too. So I'll start and then we'll move it along. Okay. Sharon Raji Maynard on Whidbey Island. And I want to bring 20 individuals into that circle of divine good for healing and new doors opening. Bringing in several earth-related situations, organizations, groups that are so entrenched on domination, and bring them into the circle to be dismantled back to light. And the quality I want to add and have sung by the field is integrity. And I'll pass to Evie.
Thank you. Evie Boykin in Anacortes, Washington. And I would like to bring in 11 people, 2 personal situations, multiple domestic situations, and all world situations where domination is overloading. And the quality I'd like to add to this circle is clarity. And I will pass to Marielle.
Marielle, we can't hear you. You're on mute. You're good.
Okay. Marielle, I'm from Montreal, Canada. I bring in tolerance. In the circle, I bring everybody from an organization, an NGO called, in French, it's Petits Frères. Translation would be Small Brothers. So I'll bring people they serve and the employees. And also people from, like I've said before, from my apartment building, but also I'll add from the past and the future, like tenants that are not here anymore, etc. And I'll pass to, I can't go on gallery. So, Angelique.
Thank you, Marielle. Yeah, good night, good morning, good afternoon from the Netherlands. I love to be here again and see your happy, lovely faces. It's beautiful. I love to bring in 20 people and I love to bring in all children of the world and all who need healing and protection and love. And these are many, so there's no number for that. Also the animals who are suffering, I'd love to bring in. And at the same time, I really want to give thanks for the beauty of the Mother Earth and honoring her. And I think we cannot do that enough. And further, I'd like to bring in a quality of gratitude today. Thank you. And I go to Deborah. Not Deborah Levine, but Deborah. Other Deborah.
Thank you, Angelique. I'm Deborah from Sanford, North Carolina. I'd like to bring in 36 people, 2 personal situations. I'd like to bring in Maui and that they be allowed to rebuild without greed and domination and in accordance with natural and Hawaiian principles. And the quality is joy. Thank you. I would like to call on Deborah Levine.
Hello, fellow Deborah and others. I would like to bring in all of the experts who are working with children at risk. They are under tremendous pressure and they're doing amazing work. One of them is my daughter, and I know she suffers, but she treats them, helps them, and they need her. So I'm hoping for good things for them. What I'd like to bring to the group is creativity. How are we going to make a difference in different ways than we ever have before to bring a better world into being? Thank you. So now I pass this on, right, to Arlie.
Hi, I'm Arlie. I'm in New Zealand. I would like to bring in 23 people, 3 personal situations. The world situation that I want to put special attention on today is all of the journalism that's being done without integrity. I'm very interested in that being in the circle. The quality I would like to bring in is the worldwide expansion of wisdom and growth in that area. And I will pass on to Sharon Alexander.
Thank you, Arlie, and hello, everyone from Boulder, Colorado. I am Sharon, and I'd love to bring 27 people into this circle. 3 personal situations, multiple world situations, and a connection to nature. And by that, I'm referring to each of us, that may humans recognize our connection to nature. I think for so long, there's been that energy of domination or the belief that we are separate or more powerful and can do whatever we want with whomever, whatever, wherever we want. And I would like people to wake up and recognize how nature flows through them and creates healing and health and opportunities for all of us to live well. And so with that, I guess would come, I'm not sure, recognition or inspired action. And I think I'll go with recognition, that we recognize each other and we recognize the beauty and the life force that unites all things. Thank you. And I'll pass it on to, is that everyone? Robin.
Robin. You're on mute, Robin.
How's that?
Good.
Okay. So I was saying, I'm very glad to be last, so I could see kind of how this works. I'm from Anacortes, and I'm here through Evie. We took a couple of art classes together, and she and I met yesterday for the first time, and boom, everything just kind of really took off. Shared about a lot of things. So I got the invite about this group. I'd like to bring in 10 people, family members. I'm going to repeat Maui. I'm extremely concerned about the land grab. What I want to do is lift up the sovereignty of the Hawaiian indigenous people. Everything was stolen from them over a century ago from Governor Dole. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Dole pineapples, Dole bananas. So yes, I want the Hawaiian people to regain their islands, not just Maui, but all of it, and lift them up. I'd like to lift up a group that did the movie Sound of Freedom and strengthen them. They've been under a lot of attack, exposing human and child trafficking. And I want to lift up the brave people that have been testifying in Congress about their experiences with UFOs, unidentified aerial phenomena, as they're calling it now, and to protect them and keep them strong, as a lot of disclosure is coming forward about non-human entities and life forms off-world, and that we can learn more about all of that and our connection with all of that as humans, who we really are. I think that's it. Did I cover everything? People, groups. I'm part of a group called Love One Society. I would also like to bring in that group to continue to strengthen them, that they can have the finances they need as we are preparing to help people when everything is disclosed and we move into the next phase, as we split into 5D and just, well, and really everything, just helping everybody that's here. as people maybe are going to be afraid, that we can be here for those people and strengthen us. What quality do I bring? That was it. I want to just say love and light, a high vibration, a high frequency. Thank you for letting me join you.
Welcome. Welcome. And I'm Aydrey, and I'm in Wyoming, Pennsylvania, and I'm honored to be here. And I would like to add 17 people, 6 situations, and I actually would like to add the experiencers as well. And there's a group that goes to Washington often, and they're physicians and psychologists and psychiatrists that are going to be working on laws for the experiencers. So I would like to put them into the group so they have funding and the resources to help the experiencers get the support that they need in a very big way.
What do you mean by experiencers?
UAP experiencers.
Okay, got you. Thank you. I thought so, but yeah, thank you.
UAP experiencers. I have a friend who goes to the congressional meetings and is right in there with it, and
Yeah,
it's very much needed. Very
Yeah.
much needed. So
What's that? UAP?
so they used to call them unidentified flying objects, UFOs, but
Oh.
they felt that there was a stigma behind it. So now they're UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Mhm.
So it's people who have experienced and have had encounters of one way or another, whether they've seen the lights or whether they've actually had experiences that have changed their life, that are real and very valid. That once you have an experience, your life is never the same. Family they don't believe you. Family drops off. You're considered crazy. A lot of people just go live in isolation. And they really need the support. They really need the support because it's truly affects them not only on a mental level, but even on a physical level. So I think it's really important that we support them, especially when all this disclosure is coming out at this time. There's a lot of science background that say, oh, I'm not going to get into it here, but there's a lot of things coming up now that they really need a lot of support for these people who are experiencing things. And I'd like to also bring in, I was at a Wild Women's and Northeast PA weekend, and it was wonderful. There was 1,000 women in attendance and multiple women vendors. And I would just like to put all those women in the circle because it was such a vibrant group of women and people who came to this event. And I would love to see it spread around the country, just women celebrating women and celebrating their arts, celebrating the wisdom that each of us hold in such a beautiful capacity. So I'd like to bring them into the circle as well. And I would also like to bring into the circle all women that are just finding their voices and give them the empowerment to use their voices. And the word I would really like to bring in is empowerment. Whatever that means, just for anybody, just the empowerment, whether it's taking the courage to step forward, use their voice, or just know who they are. So, and I just want to share really briefly, I did Akashic Records and Theta this weekend, and every single woman, I was guided to empower them with the Sophia sword. And it was beautiful. And they were like, what is this? So it was a lot of education, and they're going to go home, and I downloaded it and activated it. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful thing to experience them receiving it and the messages that they received with it. So bring in those who actually received it this weekend in, so they integrate it beautifully and they know when to wield that sword. So, and I am complete. So what we are going to do today is we're going to go And we're going to go on a path and pick up rocks. And we're going to we're going to take you on a process that you'll see when at the end without giving too much, because I just want it to free flow to you. So without disclosing too much. So if you're ready, I would like to get started. So get comfortable. Please leave your cameras on so we can have the energy coming through to see your beautiful faces. And just sit back, close your eyes, and truly know that there's nowhere you need to go. There's nothing you need to do. You're exactly where you need to be right now in this moment of time. And I would like you to envision yourself in a beautiful, beautiful field of green, the most beautiful shade of green you've ever seen, and flowers popping up amongst the greenery, brilliant magentas and pinks and yellows and blues. And the air is the perfect temperature for you. And you take a deep breath in and you smell the most magnificent smells, and you bring those smells into your being. And you exhale. And as you continue breathing in the beautiful smells, and you see the vibrancy, you look ahead and you see a little footpath that leads you down a slight sloping hill. And you walk towards that footpath. And you very gingerly and easily walk down that slight sloping hill. And there's a clearing by a creek. And you pause and you listen to that clearing, the creek. You hear the birds chirping, all different frequencies. You hear the creepy crawlies, the crickets. You hear the little peeps, the toads, all singing their sounds of frequency to you. And you hear the creek, the babbling brook. Then you hear the rush, the gentle rush of the water. And you look at that water and it's pristine, clear. It smells clean, fresh. And you look up the creek and you see lots of rocks. And they're almost glowing, calling out to you. And as they call out to you, you walk towards them, but you see a container. This big container that's easily carried. And you pick it up. And you walk against the current towards the rocks that are glowing, sparkling, calling out to you. Little pebbles, bigger rocks. They can even be huge boulders, but you can easily, effortlessly lift them and place them into the bag. So as you walk along that creek going against the current, see yourself picking them all up. It doesn't matter how many there are. It doesn't matter the size. Pick them up and place them into that container. Easily, effortlessly, without problems, without issue. You just put them in and you continue walking. And there might be one that's really close to the water. You can pick that one up. There might be one that's a little bit further from the water, little in the ground a little. Dig it out. It's okay. The soil feels beautiful around your fingers. Reach under and pick it up and put it in your container. You might even see one that's embedded within the ground. You can dig that one up easily. It comes up easily and effortlessly into your hands. No matter what the size, you can manage it. You can hold it. You can place it into your container. And the container is getting full. And it can expand to hold as many rocks, pebbles, boulders even. It just expands to fill what you put in it. And as you carry it and you walk ahead of you, you see a staircase. And those steps are wide and broad. And you know that you need to go up those steps. And you have this container full of all these things you've collected along the path. And you know you need to carry that up those steps. But you are strong. You are resilient. You are so capable of carrying them up. You even write them off as not a burden. And you take a step up. And you take another step up. And you take another step up. And with each step, you realize that they truly are heavy. All that shrugging away was really just a form of avoidance, a form of not worrying about what it is, because you'll tend to it later, or it doesn't matter. You realize the heaviness of these things in the container, but you still carry them. You take another step and you can do it. You have 2 more steps to the top. Remember, you're strong and you're resilient as you carry these up to the next step. Take a breath, knowing 1 more step. And you reach the top step and it comes to a platform. And this platform is illuminated. And you rest the container on this platform. And it feels so good to put it down. And you feel your body relaxing. You feel your muscles easing. You feel every organ, every cell celebrating the release of putting that down on the platform. And you start looking around and you see this beautiful swirling blue circle with pearlized white, brilliant white, and it's swirling towards you. And as it swirls towards you, it gets bigger and bigger. And you're curious what this could be, but you're calm. And you know you are safe in this energy that's coming towards you. And as it comes closer, out comes this beautiful, beautiful being. And it comes towards you on the platform. And you recognize on a soul level this being of pure divinity, pure good. And it acknowledges you. And it speaks to you about what you've just put down, this container. And it looks at the pebbles and the rocks and the boulders and asks you, are you ready to give it to me? And with that yes, they look at the rocks, boulders, and they take that container and they acknowledge the heaviness that you've been carrying, the emotional weariness, the anger, the hostility, the grief, the abandonment, the solitude, the isolation, the fear, all held within these beautiful pieces of earth. And you surrender them to this beautiful being. And when you surrender it, all of them, this beautiful tube appears. And the being places it within this tube. And it's literally immediately taken up to source for total transfiguration. There are no pebbles, rocks, boulders left. And you breathe a deep sigh of relief and you feel lighter. Your breath flows differently throughout your body. Your heart expands. Your liver releases easily, effortlessly. Your kidneys function beautifully. Your lungs expand. Your brain expands. Your trachea, your larynx, your vocal folds feel lighter. Your hearing becomes clearer. Your sight much clearer. And this being acknowledges you and has words of wisdom to speak to you. But first, they touch forehead to forehead with you, hands to hands if they have hands, heart to heart if you can feel the energy going into your heart, and listen to the wisdom that they speak to you. It is your own wisdom, your wisdom that they speak to you that needs to be heard. And you're filled with such peace, such stillness and presence, such beauty, sovereignty, lightness, freedom. And you thank being as it slowly goes back into that beautiful swirl of blue and brilliant white. It leaves you with not only the message, but a beautiful peace within. Stillness, contentment. And you look around that platform, and there's an iridescent tube, and you stand at the beginning of that tube in childlike wonder what it would be like to go down this rainbow tube. Joy and laughter and happiness fills you, curiosity. As you sit, you slide down that tube, and it takes you to the creek. And you flow down that creek with the current. And it feels so beautiful to flow with the current, easily and effortlessly, gracefully flowing with the current. You're buoyant and easily float. And you come to the spot where you can easily exit that creek. And you exit. And you see that footpath you took to come down the little hill. And you slowly walk up, easily, effortlessly walking up. And you start smelling the beautiful fragrances again. And you see the tops of the flowers, and you feel the gentle, warm breeze blowing in your hair and the sun on your face. And you are so revitalized. And your feet walk the grass. You're grounded deep in Gaia, connected to Gaia deeply. And you look up to the sky, and you're so connected to Sophia and to Laniake, and you know and you feel that deep connection. And you take a deep breath in and hold it. You take another deep breath. Start wiggling your toes. But before you come to full awareness, I want you to take your arms and give a hug to yourself as you come into your full awareness of who you are, embracing who you are, loving who you are, where you are. And with the next breath, coming into a more awareness of who you are. And slowly and gently opening your eyes. And taking some time to write down anything that has come into your awareness, any messages or experiences. And when we're ready, we can popcorn style. Anybody would like to share?
I found myself walking up the stream, and I've been doing a lot of water blessings these days. I also live on the water, and I've been collecting certain kinds of stones. 4 days ago, I was collecting stones that had holes in them. Today, I was going to go out and get stones that have perfect circles in them. So I'm walking up this stream, having done all these water blessings, and I was picking up tumbled gemstones, beautiful tumbled gemstones, rose quartz, tiger eye, malachite, rhodochrosite, just beautiful stones. And when we got to the end and met the spirit being, these stones were gifts to me. They held qualities, presence, gifts. And there was an exchange. The gifts of the tumbled gemstones became part of my aura. The perfectly positive qualities that these stones represented. And I made an exchange of what was being replaced by these gifts, all of the feelings of doubt and so on and so forth. I gave to the spirit so that I could fully and wholly embrace the gifts that I had just been given by this stream. Yeah, exchange. And that was my journey, and that's me.
Beautiful. Yes, Robin.
Do we discuss first, or you just want another person to share now?
We can discuss or share what comes up. If you want to share anything, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Does anyone want to say anything to Arlie or ask her any questions? Or I'm ready to share.
Go ahead.
So the container that I found was a basket with a handle. And as I walked up the creek, I was finding first just everything was very, very colorful, but then on the edge of the creek, I started finding crystals, and they were beautiful. I don't know what words to use, but like rainbow colors and purples and perfectly clear, and like, so they were like sticking up out of the ground with the point. And when I would pick them, they were double terminated and all different colors, and they were beautiful. But I had also collected, I'm very drawn to rocks the shape of eggs because I'm a bird, I'm a robin, and I collect them, and I actually put them around my house like little nests, and beautiful, perfectly round stones. So I had a lot of things in my basket, but it was interesting how near the end, before I went up those steps, it was all crystals. And as I walked up the steps, I didn't even have to carry the basket. It was floating. First, I just had my hand under it, and then it just levitated, it floated. So I'm just kind of skipping up the stairs, and the basket's floating next to me. When I get up to the platform, I put it down, and then the beings came. And so I loved it because when we put forehead to forehead and then took the hands, I knew them. They are part of my spirit family, and I knew that we were just all one. And it was kind of a reunion, and everything in my basket was gifts for them. So I got their love and light and frequency, and I got to give them all these beautiful crystals. Yeah, that was it. So I didn't even have to carry the basket. I wasn't carrying anything.
Beautiful.
Audrey, your voice was so soothing that I just went into like this theta state where
Yeah, me too.
nothing came to me. I was just in a empty place, and that's so renewing for me. So
Very nice.
Good. Very good.
Yes, well, I was walking along the stream, and there were many, 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 many stones, and they had all these lovely, beautiful faces, spirit faces, and they were singing all together. And when I was climbing the stairs and we came up they were really also very excited to come higher, to come on the platform. And then when we were there were the beautiful beings, and they recognized each other, and they started singing together, and they were blending as this was one family. So it was really nice. And then I really floated away somewhere in some kind of bubble, I don't know, and I was in the universe, and I never wanted to come back. But here I am. And I'd love to share that. Last week I had my grandmother's circle, and there was one of my grandmothers who had been to Africa and visited a tribe where her son-in-law has his family, and they had an amazing ceremony there, a really ancient ceremony, and they brought back stones from the land, and she gave me one, and well, you won't believe it, there are more than, here is it, but there are more than over 30 spirits in it, in this little small one, all faces all together, and so amazing. Now, well, you know that I'm a really stone person. I love stones, and I really, really talk with them all the time, but they were singing so beautifully. So we had a stone concert, not from the Stones, but from the Stones. Thank you for your amazing journey. It was beautiful to journey with you, really. Thank you so much.
Would anybody else like to share? If not, we can open it up with Sharon.
I'll just share a little bit. First of all, what really stood out for me was the beautiful, loving energy of the spirit guide, which took the form sort of the woman in Avatar, blue, and smooth, but it was very, maternal is not really a good description, but very much, well, at some point my thinking mind was the mother that I never had or whatever, but just this very loving, confident, and fierce energy. So it was really beautiful. And the stone, so right away I dropped into the meditation because I've just spent time in a beautiful mountain place this weekend. So it was lovely. And the rocks I picked up along the way, they were smooth. Most all of them were smooth until I thought, well, maybe there should be some rough ones. But what the avatar did was cleanse them, and then allow them to be returned to the earth from where they came. And I then felt much lighter and unburdened. So yes, it was beautiful meditation, and thank you for guiding such a lovely thing.
Well, thank you for the honor of taking you on a journey. It's been wonderful. And I'm honored, truly honored. It's always a blessing. It's a blessing. And we can unmute if you want to chat. If you have anything to share, anything coming up. If not, I will leave you ladies. We will close the circle now. We will thank all that have been with us. Send on your way in the beautiful cocoon, six-fold cocoon, in the loving hands of the divine beings of love and goodness. Circle is closed, and so it is. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Audrey.
Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey.
You.
Thank
Lovely.
you, Audrey. It
Lovely.
was beautiful, really beautiful. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.